welcome you all to the Durga Puja at Belur, the headquarters of the Ramakrishna Mutt and the Ramakrishna Mission. Today is the Mahanabamir Tithi of the Holy Durga Puja. The worship related to the Mahanabamir Tithi will soon begin. All arrangements have been completed in the Puja Mandap in front of the image of Devi. As on the previous 2 days of the puja, today on the Mahanabamir Tithi also, after a brief puja of the Devi, the Navapatrika Snana and the Mahasnana will be done. And after that, a detailed Shodashopachara Puja for Devi Durga and her Parivara Devatas will be performed. These pujas will take few hours to be completed. And after the completion of the Shodashopachara Puja and related rituals, Bhoga and Arati will be conducted as on the previous days. Devi Durga will be offered Bhog, followed by Arati. In addition to this, a symbolic Bali and the Maha Homa will be performed today. In Belur Mutt, for the Bali, no animal sacrifice is done. It is just performed symbolically. And the Homa, which is the fire sacrifice, will be done today at noon. This fire worship, which is part of the puja, is also known as the Tantrika Brihad Homa. Though the basic structure of the Homa is Vedic, it is done by adhering to the conventions of the Tantric liturgy. Durga Puja is a very important festival throughout our country. The main part of the Durga Puja begins from Mahasaptami. On the previous day of Mahasaptami, that is on the Shashti Tithi, the Devi was invoked in a branch of the Bilva Vriksha, the bell tree. And then on the Saptami Tithi, Devi Durga was invoked in a group of 9 plants known as the Navapatrika. These 9 plants include a branch of bell also, and they are bundled together and given a ceremonial bath. Navapatrika Snana it is called. Then Navapatrika is covered with an orange colored cloth and installed on a wooden seat on the right side of the image of Mother Durga. On the Saptami Tithi, Navapatrika Snan is followed by the Mahasnan, the great bath of Devi Durga. The Mahasnan was performed on a mirror, hence the name Adarsha Snapanam. It was performed using various materials and waters from different sources. And after the Mahasnana, the consecration and divinization of the image took place. The ritual is known as the Prana Pratishtha. It was followed by an elaborate worship. The worship of the Devi was done with 16 items of offering, and this puja is therefore known as the Shodashopachara Puja. The other deities, many attending divinities, and a number of objects of veneration associated with the Devi and Belur Mutt are then worshipped. In the evening, Aratrikam was performed. The worship continued on the Ashtami Tithi yesterday. Two important components of the worship of Devi Durga yesterday were Kumari Puja in the morning and Sandhi Puja in the evening. And today, on the Mahanabamir Tithi, the 9th day of the Navratri, the pujas continue. Today at noon, after the completion of the puja, bhog and arati, the rituals will be concluded by performing Mahahoma, a grand fire sacrifice in honor of Devi Durga. The most striking aspect of the Durga Puja is the image of the Divine Mother as Mahishasura Mardini. In her Mahishasura Mardini form, the Divine Mother is seen as having 10 arms, each wielding a weapon. Durga Puja is performed in a gorgeous pandal erected adjacent to the iconic temple, the universal temple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Durga Puja is meant to be an occasion for public worship in which a large number of devotees participate. Belur Mutt erects a well-decorated pandal adjacent to the temple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa on the bank of the holy Ganga. And the puja mandap is set up in this pandal where the image of the Mahishasura Mardini Devi Durga is consecrated and worshipped. Devotees can see and approach the Divine Mother from the large area in front of her and from both sides as well. The Durga Puja at Belur is renowned for carefully adhering to all the aspects of a noble yajna, vidhi, annadana, mantra, dakshina, and bhakti shraddha. All the aspects of a noble worship are taken care of. Devotees arrive here in large numbers from early morning to witness the puja and offer pranams at the feet of Devi Mahishasura Mardini and partake the prasad. The presence of the devotees and their participation make the Durga Puja at Belur Math a real Virat Puja. As the poet voiced it, God does not need either man's work or his own gifts, who best bear his mild yoke, they serve him best. His state is kingly, thousands at his bidding speed, and post over land and ocean without rest. They also serve who only stand and wait. The celebration of Durga Puja is a unique feature of the socio-religious culture of the people of Bengal. Probably in no other part of India does the worship of Durga affect the lives of the people so deeply as it does in Bengal. Here the festivities begin from the day of Mahalaya, which is the first day of the Navratri period. During this period, people put on new clothes, worship the Divine Mother at any of the beautiful Durga pandals put up in different parts of the city, town, or the village, and enjoy feasts. The image of Devi Durga in the Puja Mandap is that of Mahishasura Mardini. In her Mahishasura Mardini form, the Divine Mother is seen as having 10 arms. Each of the arms has a divine weapon. Devi Durga rides on a furious lion. She is Simhavahini. The Mahishasura is depicted at the foot of the Divine Mother. The murals make the Puja Mandap beautiful. Many traditional artisans work together to erect this gorgeous Durga Mandap. It is well decorated. Mother Durga is described as the Dasha Praharana Dharini. She has 10 arms and each of them hold a weapon. This is the form of the Divine Mother which inspired the poet Bankim Chandra Chatterjee to conceptualize the holy land of India as Devi Durga itself. Devi Durga herself has become our motherland. Tvam hi Durga Dasha Praharana Dharini, says the poet in his famous poem Vande Mataram, which is our national song as well. Kamala Kamala Dala Viharini, Vani Vidyadayini, Namami Tvam, Namami Kamalam, Amalam, Atulam, Sujalam, Suphalam, Mataram, Vande Mataram. You are indeed the 10-handed Durga. You are the goddess of wealth, Kamala, the Lakshmi, residing on the lotus. You are the bestower of the power of speech and knowledge, Goddess Saraswati. I pray to you, I salute you, O pure, unmatched Goddess Kamala. You are blessed with water resources, blessed with plenty of fruits. Salutations to you, O Mother India. The morning puja to Devi Durga is about to begin. Brahmachari Shubhrato Maharaj, the priest, has taken his ceremonial seat. He is assisted by the Tantradharak, Swami Shastrajnanandaji Maharaj. Once the image of Devi Durga is consecrated, the deity is invoked in it. It undergoes a transformation. Mrinmayi is now the Chinmayi. It is no longer a clay image, but the living goddess radiating power, knowledge, love and joy, the benign mother of the universe who has come to bless her children and assure them of her love, her help and protection. Chandi part is an integral part of the Durga Puja. Swami Shastrajnanandaji Maharaj is the Tantradharak and Swami Tattvasaranandaji will perform Chandi Parayana on all the puja days at Belur Math. During the 9 days of Navratri, the holy book of Sri Sri Chandi, otherwise known as Durga Saptashati, is recited every day in the morning. The holy book of Durga Saptashati is also known as Sri Sri Chandi and Devi Mahatmyam. Recital of Sri Sri Chandi is done along with the worship of Goddess Chandi. In Belur Math, as part of the Durga Puja, Sri Sri Chandi Puja and Chandi Path are done during the first 5 days of the Navratri in a corner of Nat Mandir, the central hall of the temple of Sri Ramakrishna, and from the 6th day of the Navaratri, the worship and recital of the holy book are done near the Durga Mandap itself.
यसन्निरुद्धा भवत यसन्निरुद्धा भवत यसम्मुखी भवत यसम्मुखी भवत अत्राधिष्ठानं कुरुत मम पूजां गृह्णीत
Devi Durga is invited by mantras to make her presence felt and accept the offerings. The Navami Puja has begun.
Bhangatasmai Masha Bhakta Balayena Bhangatasmai Masha Bhakta Balayena Bhangatasmai Masha Bhakta Balayena
Offering of Masha Bhakta Bali.
Tasmai Masha Bhakta Balayena Nitiganta Pushpetat Sampradhanaya Eta Sampradhanibhyam Bhutadibhyo Namaha Esha Masha Bhakta Baliyam Bhutadibhyo Namaha Bhutapasaranam. ओम सर्वविघ्नानुत्सारय हुं पट स्वाहं अपसर्पन्तु ते भूताये भूता भूषणस्थिता ये भूता विघ्नकर्तारस्ते नश्यन्तु शिवाज्ञया.
Worship of the Bhutas and eradicating the obstacles. Om Gandhadvaram Duradharsham Nitya Pushtankari Shrim Ishwarim Sarvabhutanam Twami Hopavai Shriyam Omapyasu Sametu Te Vishwata Soma Vrishtam Bhavavajasya Sangathe Om Dadikrabno Akarisham Jashnora Shvasya Bajina Hasrabino Mukhakarat Pranayayum Shitarishat Om Tejasi Shukramasya Amritamasi Dhamanamasi Priyam Anadrishtam Priyam Devanamanaadrishtam Devajajaramasi Om Deva Satva Sabita Parsabe Ashinar Bahubhyam Pushno Hastabhyam Adadi Om Bhurguvat Satat Sabiturvarenyang Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayatom Panchamrita Shodhanam. Purification of the items to be used in the worship.
Madhuvatarutayate madhuksharanti sindavaha madvirna santoshadi madhunaktamutoshaso madhumatparthibang rajaha madhudyaurastu nappita madhumanno vanaspatir madhumangastu surya madvirgavo bhavantunaha Om Tejasi Shukramasya Amritamasi Dhamanamasi Priyam Devanamanaadrishtam Devajajaramasi Dugdhamapyastu Sametu Te Vishwata Soma Vrishnam Bhavavajasya Sangathe Dadhyam Dadikrabno Akarisham Jishnoraswasya Vajinah Surabhino.
The Durga Puja with image of the Devi was performed for the first time in Belur under the directions of Swami Vivekananda in 1901.
Abhyukshanam Om Hrim Navapatrika Om Hrim Navapatrika Adhishtita Devatabhyo Namaha.
That year, Navami Tithi fell on the 21st of October. It was a Monday.
Om Panchagabhya Snanam Om Ram Hridayaya Namaha Gomai Om
The snana has begun. The purified offerings are given one by one, uttering the Vedic mantras.
Dadhana Om Hraim Kavachaya Hum Dhritena Om Hraum Netratrayaya Vaushat Kushodakena Om Bhakkaratara Prishtabhyamastraya That Panchamrita Snanam Om Rham
The Mahasnana,
Panchamritam,
when the puja begins,
Adu Dugdhena
is an important part of the Navami Puja.
Dadhana Om Hring Shirashe Swaha.
As on the previous 2 days of the puja, today on the Mahanabamir Puja also, Navapatrika Snana and Mahasnana are performed. Various waters are offered for the snana of the Devi. The rituals specifically enjoined as part of the Navami Puja begin only after the snana ceremony of the Navapatrika.
Namaste Patrike Devi Namaste Suranaike Om Hrim Brahmanyai Namaha पुष्पजलेन ओम कच्चित्वं स्थावरस्थासि सदा सिद्धिप्रदायिनी
Navapatrika
दुर्गारूपेण
is a
सर्वत्र
collection of
स्नानेन
9
विजयं कुरु
different
ओम ह्रीं
plants and creepers.
कालिकायै नमः वापीजलेन
Some of
ओम
them are
हरिद्रे
branches of certain
हररूपासि
trees and
शङ्करस्य
shrubs,
सदा प्रिये
and some other
रुद्ररूपेण सा
are
देवी
herbs
मम
and
शान्तिं
creepers.
प्रयच्छतु ओम ह्रीं दुर्गायै नमः शिशिरजलेन ओम
Rambha,
जयन्ती जय
Kachi,
रूपासि
Haridra cha,
जगतां जय हेतवे
Jayanti,
भक्त्या
Bilvadadimau,
सम्पूजयामि त्वां जयं देवी
Ashoko,
नमोऽस्तुते ओम ह्रीं
Ashoko,
कार्तिक्यै नमः
Manakaschaiva, Dhanyancha Navapatrika, says the scriptures.
विजयवर्धन देहि मे
They are
हितकामां
the Rambha,
भव
the
सर्वदा
Kachi.
ओम ह्रीं शिवायै नमः
Rambha is the banana plant. Kachi is commonly known in Bengali as Kochu. Haridra is turmeric. Jayanti, Sesbania sesban. Bilwa, the bell or stone apple. Dadima is pomegranate, known in Bengal as dalim. Ashoka, Saraka indica, Manaka, the giant taro, commonly known in Bengal as Mankochu, and Dhanya, the rice plant. Each of these plants has its own Adhishthatri Devi also. Brahmani is the Adhishthatri Devata of Rambha. Kalika is of Kochu or Kachi. Haridra has its Adhishthatri Devata as Durga or Uma.
Anantaram Prarthana. Om Ayurvalam Yashoravacha Prajapashuvasunicha Brahma Pragna
Jayanti plant has Kartiki as its Adhishthatri Devata. Shiva is the Adhishthatri Devata of Bilva Vriksha. Dadima has Raktadantika as its Adhishthatri Devata. Ashoka has Shokarahita as the presiding deity. Mankochu has Chamunda and Dhanya has Mahalakshmi. The plants were bound together on the Saptami morning, draped with red bordered orange colored cloth, giving the impression of a Vadhu, a young bride. For this reason, the Navapatrika is famously known as the Kola bow in Bengali. Kola means banana or the banana plant, and bow means the bride. Kola bow represents Devi Durga. Navapatrika Snana and Navapatrika Puja, the worship of the Navapatrika Vasini Devi Durga, formed an important part. They form important components in the worship of Devi Durga. Now we can see the Mahasnana being performed. Various upacharas, consecrated items are offered with Veda mantras and proper mudras. The Mahasnana of Devi Durga is done in the morning of Saptami, Ashtami and the Navami Tithis. The Mahasnana is a very special liturgical service conducted during the puja. Mahasnana is performed with a number of items offered as part of the Abhisheka ceremony to Devi Durga. Oil and other articles for the Abhyanga of the Devi are offered, followed by waters from various sources.
Karato ya bahuda cha shonavi
We can see Bhringara Snana.
Devaki Bhairavi Koka Gomati Chutpalavati Umatre Bharati Ganga Yamuna cha
At
Saraswati
first,
Sarayur Gandaki
Taila,
Purna Shweta Ganga cha Kaushiki
Taila,
Bhogavati
Haridra,
Patali
Chandana,
Swarge
Pituli,
Bandakini Tatha
and
Sarvasu Manaso Bhutva
Panchashasya Churna
Bringari
are offered
Snapayantuta
to Mother Durga
Amsura
for
Swama
her
Vishinchantu Brahma
Abhyanga,
Vishnu
and
Maheshwara
then the waters for
Vasudeva
Abhisheka are
Jagannatha
offered
Sankara
one by one with the accompaniment of mantras and the auspicious ringing of the ceremonial bell.
Yamo Vainoditis Varuna Pavanasaiva Dhanadhyakshasthatha Shivaha Brahmana Shahita Shesho Dikpala Pantute Sada
Shitala Jalam
Lakshmi
is offered, cold water. Rajata Jalam or Mukta Jalam, water with silver or pearls. Padma Renu Mishrita Jalam, water with lotus pollen. Nadi Jalam, water from the rivers with feminine features. And again Narikela Jalam, coconut water. Nirjhara Jalam, water from a cascade. Shankha Jalam, water preserved in a conch shell. Shishira Jalam, dew drops collected in a vessel for this purpose. Sarvatirtha Jalam, the collection of waters from the main tirthas of our country. Ganga Jalam, water from the holy Ganga. Guda Jalam, water mixed with molasses. Chandana Yukta Jalam, water mixed with sandal paste. Ushna Jalam, warm water. Karpura Jalam, water mixed with camphor. Shuddha Jalam, pure water without any ingredient added. Gandhadhya Jalam, fragrant water. Tila Jalam, water mixed with sesame. Pavitra Jalam, Aguru Jalam, Pushpa Jalam, Pushkarini Jalam, Phalodakam, Vrishti Jalam, Ikshu Jalam, Panchakashaya Jalam, water performed, water made fragrant with flowers, perfumed with agru, water from a pond, fruit juices, rain water, sugar cane juice, Panchakashaya Jalam, a decoction made from the fruits of 5 kinds of medicinal plants, collectively referred to as the Panchakashaya. Kunkumodakam, water mixed with the pigments called kumkum. Pancharatna Jalam, water with 5 precious gems: sapphire, diamond, ruby, pearl and coral. And Sugandhi Jalam, perfumed water. Kushodakam, water with kusha grass. Nada Jalam, water from the rivers with masculine features. Swarna Jalam, water with gold. And Sagara Jalam, water from the ocean. Panchagavya is offered.
Gandhadvaram Duradharsham Nitya Pushtankari Shrimishwarim Sarvabhutanam Twami Upavaishriyam Pavitrakaram Bhumir Vidutik Karanam Param Gomayam Sarvapapagnam Tina Tvam Snapayam Yaham Dugdena Omapyasta Samitu Devishwata Soma Vrushyam Baba
Mahamaya, the universal mother, is the power that creates, sustains and destroys the whole universe. She is an expression of the motherhood of God. The Durga Saptashati describes the glories of Devi Durga, her leelas and avadanas. Devi's divine play is meant for our devout contemplation. In the first part of the Durga Saptashati, Devi Durga is described as the Yoga Nidra of Bhagavan Vishnu. She is both Vidya and Avidya. She is the binding power, the limiting power, as well as the liberating power. She is the knowledge as well as ignorance. Mahamaya is the power of tamas, which makes people lethargic, indolent and sleepy. Under the influence of this cosmic delusive power of Devi Durga, Lord Vishnu went to sleep, says Sri Sri Chandi Grantha. At that time, two demons by name of Madhu and Kaitabha emerged, and they tried to attack Brahma, the creator God. Brahma then praised the Divine Mother as Mahamaya or Yoga Nidra. Pleased with the petition, Devi withdrew herself from Vishnu's body. Vishnu now woke up and killed Madhu and Kaitabha.
Om Hrim Durgayai Namaha Rajata Jalena. Om Ambike Varade Devi Jagatam Hitakarini Raupya Dakena Devi Tvam Snapayami.
At Belur Mutt, the Navami Puja as part of the Durga Puja celebrations has begun. Devi's Mahasnana is underway in the Puja Mandap.
Om Chandikayai Namaha.
Brahmachari Shubrato Maharaj is performing the puja, assisted by Tantradharak Swami Shastrajnanandaji Maharaj.
Vishnu Tailena. Om Hrim Chamundayai Namaha. Aguru Jalena. Om Gangauriyai Namaha. Pushkarini Jalena. Om Hrim Kalikayai Namaha.
An assortment of waters collected from various sources is offered by uttering mantras as part of the Mahasnana ceremony.
Om Yabagodhu Mamudaga Budgasta Tilascha Dhanyamivacha Etatto Enadeveshi Snapayami Prasidame. Om Rimumayai Namaha. Kunkumodakena. Om Kaushikyai Namaha. Sharkaraya. Om Sharkare Madhure Snigdhe Deva Moda Vivardhini.
Mahasnana is an important component of the morning puja on all the days of the Durga Puja.
Om Yosau Malayajo Vrikshasau Gandhyan Nilaya Sada Tajjala Snana Matrena Varada Vavashobhane. Om Him Kalyai Namaha. Yabadhanya Dichurna. Om Vaishnavyai Namaha. Mrittika Snanam.
Knowing the meaning of a ritual is a part of its performance. And no ritualistic action is possible without knowing its meaning, says Mimamsa Nyaya Prakasha. Arthajnanasya karmanushthanangatvam nahi arthajnanam antarena anushtanam sambhavati.
Om Brahmanyai Namaha. Sarobara. Om Padmavatiyai Namaha. Nadya Uhaikula. Om Trinetrayai Namaha.
Therefore,
Yagashala. Om Narayanyai Namaha.
it is very important that we understand the significance of the puja.
Om Jayantyai Namaha. Ganga. Om Haimavatiyai Namaha. Kushamula. Om Shivayai Namah. Nada.
The
Om
term
Hring Maheshwaryai Namah.
Arthajnana,
Nadi.
knowledge of the
Om
meaning,
Hrim
refers to both
Shivayai
the
Namah.
meaning of the rituals
Sagara.
as well as
Om
the
Hrim
meaning of the mantras.
Katyayanyai Namah. Goshtha. Om Hrim Indranyai Namah.
The inner meaning of every ritual and meaning corresponding to each of the mantras must be known to the worshipper. Having known the meaning,
Om Sahasra Shirsha Purusa Sahasraksa Sahasra
the worshipper will be able to perform the rituals
Shangulam Purushai Vedam Saravam Yad Bhutam Yatcha
in a more
Utamritatva
meaningful and significant way, in a fruitful way.
Etavanasya Mahimata Jyayangscha Purusha Padosya Vishwa Bhutani Kripadasya Amritam Devi Kripadurha Udait Purusha Padosyeha Bhava
The Gita says, he who abandons the commandments of the scriptures and leaves as his desires prompt him attains neither spiritual perfection nor worldly happiness nor liberation. The Purusha Suktam from the Vedas is being chanted. And Snaniyodakam for Devi Durga is poured out from a bhringara. Yat purushang vyadadukadita vakalpayan mukham kimasyasit king vahu kimuru pada uchyate brahmanosya mukhamasidu vahu rajanyakratah uru tadasya yad vaishyapadhyam shudro. All puja rituals begin with preliminary purification. Only when one is pure in body and mind does he become eligible for any spiritual practice. One should therefore begin puja and sadhana only after purifying himself or herself. The main purpose of the preliminary purificatory rites is to attain Chitta Shuddhi and Deha Shuddhi. Samrita Prithivyairasascha Vishwakarmana Samavartatagri Tasya Tvashta Vidadata Rupameti Tanamartasya Devatvamajanamagri. That is why the sadhaka or the archaka prays at the beginning of puja. He prays that he too may be able to perceive and realize Vishnu, the supreme reality, through the eye of wisdom. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Sabakhyabhyantara Shuchi, says the scriptures. The spiritual aspirant gets thoroughly purified both externally and internally by the remembrance of Vishnu, the lotus-eyed one. The Achamana and other purificatory rituals are followed by Swasti Vachana, pronouncing words of auspiciousness. This is a prayer for the success of the work undertaken as well as for the welfare of all beings. Jivas are mutually interrelated. The welfare of the individual depends on the welfare of the collective and vice versa. This idea is predominant in the mantra used for Swasti Vachana. Let all people equally enjoy the fruits of my sadhana. Let there be welfare all around. This feeling for universal good and welfare generated by Swasti Vachana is very touching. Devi's Bhringara Snana is being performed in the Puja Mandap.
त्वां स्नापयतु गव्येन पयकुम्भेन चण्डिकाम् इक्षुदसेन अमिषेत्वाख्येन मन्त्रेण स्नापयत्विक्षुजद्रवै षडशीतिभिधायुक्तो यजुर्वेदसुरेश्वरीं मधुना सहस्रशाखा संयुक्तः सामवेदो मधुद्रवै अग्न आयाहि मन्त्रेण त्वां स्नापयतु चण्डिकाम्.
An important message of the Shakta scriptures is the empowerment of women.
शन्नो देवीति मन्त्रेण देवी त्वामभिषिञ्चतु दधना.
Durga Puja shows us to what heights this empowerment can be raised, how much power women can wield, how they can work independently. Though a mother is traditionally understood to perform functions like giving birth, nourishing her children, and to care and protect, in the Shakta scriptures, the mother goddess is not a disinterested spectator of the drama of human life. She is an active participant in our affairs. Of course, she is the nourisher. She gave birth to this universe. But more than that, she protects people from all dangers. There is this cosmic figure of the Divine Mother towering over millions of people, guarding them from dangers and punishing evildoers. वारिना परिपूर्णेन पद्मरेणु सुगन्धिना पञ्चमेनाभिषिञ्चन्तु नाकाश्च कलसेन तु निर्झरौदक ॐ हिमवद्भीमकूटाद्य अभिषिञ्चन्तु पर्वता निर्झरौदकपूर्णेन. Durga Puja wakes us up from our futile dreams and situates us right in the midst of the terrible realities of the present day world, which we often fail to see. It helps us to face the difficulties around us with courage, seek divine guidance, overcome our difficulties by sincerely surrendering to the divine power.
ॐ धर्मो ज्ञानं च वैराग्यं तपस्यत्यं क्षमा धृतिः यशो विवेको नियमो ब्रह्मचर्यं
in the second part of the Chandi Grantha, Devi appears as Mahishasura Mardini and is also called Chandika. यद ब्रह्म सृष्टाव्युत्पन्नं मूर्तं चामूर्तमेव च अचरं यच्चरं वापि. When a powerful demon by name Mahishasura was the king of the Asuras, they attacked the Devas and vanquished them. The defeated gods went to Shiva and Vishnu and complained about the atrocities of Mahishasura. Hearing this, Vishnu, Shiva and other presiding deities became angry. The rays of their anger combined to form a supremely powerful and dazzlingly bright female being, the Devi known also as Chandika and Ambika. Seeing the dazzling brightness of the Devi, Mahishasura first sent his army to attack her, but the Divine Mother exterminated them all. Then Mahishasura, who had the form of a buffalo, himself attacked her. Devi at once jumped upon his body, pressed his neck with her foot, struck his chest with her spear and finally cut off his head. The gods, being extremely relieved and pleased, praise the Devi, and their praise takes up the rest of the second part of the Chandi. O Devi, you are Bhagavati, the supreme Vidya, which is the cause of liberation, the great inconceivable penances are the means for your realization. You are the supreme knowledge. You are cultivated by sages who desire liberation, whose senses are well restrained, who are devoted to reality. You are the soul of Shabda Brahman, O Devi. You are the repository of very pure Rig and Yajur mantras. You are the Sama mantras. You are the Bhagavati embodying the three Vedas. The Mahasnana ceremony of Devi Durga has been completed. There will be prayers after this, followed by an elaborate worship of Devi Durga. Medhasi Devi Viditakhila Shastra Sara Durgasi Durga Bhava Sagara Naurasanga Shri Kaitabhari Hridayaika Kritadhivasa Gauri Twameva Shashimauli Krita Pratishtha. O Devi, you are the intellect by which the essence of all scriptures is comprehended. You are Durga, the boat that takes men across difficult ocean of worldly existence, devoid of attachments. You are Shri, who has invariably taken her abode in the heart of Vishnu. You are indeed Gauri, who has established herself with Shiva. You gently smile, you are pure, resembling the full moon's orb. Beautiful like the splendor of excellent gold is your face. It is so strange that being swayed by anger, Mahishasura suddenly struck your face when he saw it. After the Mahasnana ceremony, the puja mandapa is cleaned, and once again the puja materials will be arranged. For the worship of the Devi. Flowers are offered at the feet of Devi Durga. The various forms of the goddess or Shakti, which have been realized by various sages in ancient times and which have been realized by long line of devotees subsequently, and which have been prescribed therefore as suitable for purposes of worship, are given various separate names. Although all these names denote the same entity, the same supreme power of Paramatman, each of these names are very significant. Each of these names is very significant in the Shakta liturgy and philosophy. Kali, the Devi, is called as Kali. She is called so because she devours Kala or time and assumes her own dark formlessness. She thus represents the aspect of dissolution. She is the Paravak, she is the Pashyanti, she is the Vaikhari, she is the Madhyama Vak. She is represented as Muktakeshi, as having disheveled hair. Here also is a pun in the word Muktakeshi, since the word also means the liberated stage of Ka, A and Isha, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Ishvara. When we perform Sandhi between Ka, A and Isha, we get the word Kesha. And Muktakeshi means the liberated stage, the Mukti Avastha of Ka, A and Isha. Ka represents Brahma, the creator, A, the Lord Vishnu, and Isha, Ishvara, that is Shiva. It is also said to symbolically represent that she binds infinite number of jivas by bonds of Maya, symbolized by hair. Sa Maya Palini Shaktihi Srishti Samharakarini Sava Etasya Sangsrashtuhu Shaktihi Sadasadatmika. The Mahanirvana Tantra says, Tvam para prakritihi sakshat brahmana paramatmano mahattatvadi bhutantam jagat nimittamatram tad brahma sarvakarana karanam tasya ichhamatram avalambya tvam mahayogini para karoshi pasi hangsi ante jagadetat characharam kalanat sarvabhutanam mahakalah prakirtitaha mahakalasya kalanat tvam adya kalika Parakalatvad Adibhutatvad Adya Kali iti giyate. Devi is Kalika, Devi is Parashakti, Devi is Mahamaya, she is Mahishasura Dalani, she is Vidya, she is Lakshmi, she is the mother. The Varaha Purana describes Devi Durga as the Jnana Shakti and the Mahishasura who is killed by her as a personification of Ajnana. Athava Jnana Shakti sa Mahishaha Ajnana Murtiman. She is called Daksha Yajna Vinashini because Vidya leads to the cessation of all purely ritualistic duties meant for the satisfaction of desires and which are unaccompanied by devotion to God. Daksha's yajna in the Puranas was only the ritual of a man who had no love for God, as in the case of an ordinary typical Mimamsaka. That is why he is represented as not having invited God Shiva to his yajna, thus leading to the immolation of Sati, which represents devotion to God, which was smothered by too much adherence to ritual. Devi is called Durga and is described to be of red color because of her Rajasic aspect. She is also depicted in slightly orange color, yellow color, hence the name Atasi Pushpavarnabha. Devi's Rajasic aspect makes her actively engaged in killing her enemies these enemies being the obstacles to spiritual progress and realization in the form of temptations and miseries of samsara. The puja mantra of Devi Durga as given in Devi Bhagavata gives the derivation of the word or Devi Durga's name. The derivation of the word Durga is given thus: Durgat trayati bhaktam ya sa Durga artinashini Durjneya sarvadevanam tam Durgam pujayamyaham. Durga is so called because she removes the miseries of her devotees by destroying all obstacles in their spiritual progress, and because she is incapable of being comprehended or grasped by the devas who are our sense organs. This Durga I worship. Yasyaha parataram nasti saisha Durga prakirtita Durgat santrayate yasmat Devi Durgeti kathyate Prapadye Sharanam Devi Dum Durge Haritam Hara. Durga is so called because there is nothing higher than the mother, and because she protects the devotees from all obstacles to spiritual life. I seek protection from the mother. Please deign to remove my sins. This is the humble prayer of a devotee at the feet of Mother Durga. The Navami Puja has begun at Belur Mutt. The Pujak and Tantradharak have taken their ceremonial seat once again. Now is the Samanyarghya Sthapana, installing the Samanyarghya. The water of Samanyarghya will be used in the puja rituals. The word Durga was given to Mother Durga because she killed, or she was expected to kill an asura called Durgama. Remembering her name, even merely uttering the word Durga is considered as auspicious. Durgeti kathyate yaha Durgeti kathyate yena tasya sarvepi vighnaha vinashyanti. The Kashi Khanda of the Puranas also refers to the destruction of the great asura called Durgama. Durgama was also called Durgaha in masculine gender, and he was the personification of obstacles to realization. Asura Durgama represented the difficulties and obstacles that a spiritual aspirant has to face in his or her way towards spiritual fulfillment. The word Durga is also explained as Dukkhena Prapyate Asau iti Durga. According to this, the name Durga is given because she can be realized only if one passes through difficult and painful processes of sadhana as per the Shastras.
idam sopakaran naivedyamang vetalibhyo namaha masha bhakta bali Bangatasmai Masha Bhakta Balayena
Masha Bhakta Bali is offered as part of the puja.
Pushpetasmai Masha Bhakta Balayena Amiti Ganda Pushpeta Tatipatay Devaya Sri Vishnave Nama Iti Ganda Pushpamita Sampradhanebhyo Vitalebhyo Namaha Brikshekshu Parvatagreshu Pataleshu Chaye Stitaha Antarikshe Stita Yecha Tetu Grinhantvimam Balim Omadyascha Karmajascha Ye Bhutadigibidik Stitaha Prasanna Paritushtaste Pratigrinhanti Mambaling Ong Vitala Kshamadham Bhutapasaranam.
Bhutapasaranam is being performed to remove the obstacles, any possible obstacles that may occur in the puja. The worship is performed in front of a ghata which was ceremonially installed before the Durga Puja began. Iti gandha pushpe om hrim adharo shaktadibhyo namaha mantrena pujay. Om asya asana upaveshana mantrasya meru or
prishtari
ghata
sisukalam chanda
represents
devata asana upaveshana
the deity, and worship is done on the ghata. This is a special part of worship. In almost all the pujas done in an image, a ghata is installed and worshipped after invoking in it the deity. The picture, the ghata, represents the deity. When there is no image, the picture alone is the primary symbol of the deity. Ghatasthapana has another significance. The picture is a symbol of the cave of the heart, Hridaya Guha. The heart is the abode of the Atman. Atmasya janto nihito guhayam. The Atman is present in the heart of each jiva. The ghata represents the heart. The picture symbolizes our inner self. The water contained in the picture represents bhava, the spiritual feeling. The fruits kept on that represent the buddhi. The Pancha Pallava, the 5 varieties of leaves which are attached to the ghata, represent the 5 karmendriyas, organs of action. The Pancha Ratnas, 5 kinds of jewels offered as part of the ghata, represent the 5 jnanendriyas, organs of knowledge. And the Pancha Shasya, 5 varieties of corn, which are part of the ceremonial ghata, represent the 5 tanmatras. The figure drawn on the picture with vermilion represents the subtle body. When the mantras for the Ghatasthapana are chanted with the knowledge of their image, with the knowledge of their proper significance and corresponding attunement to their import, then the worshipper sees that the ghata before him is nothing but a representation of his own heart, and realizes that it is only from there that all divine power emerges. You can see a heap of flowers covering the ghata, just in front of
Bhuta
the image of Mother Durga. Now is the time for Bhuta Shuddhi.
Om Bhuta Sringata Chirasu Shumana Pathena Jiva
By
Shivam
this
Paramashita
ritual,
Yojayami Swaha.
the
Om
worshipper
Yanglinga Shariram Shoshaya Shoshaya
purifies his
Swaha.
body and
Om
mind,
Rang Sankocha
his
Shariram
subtle
Adahadaha Swaha. Om Paramashita
gross
Sushumana
body.
Pathena Mula Sringata Mulla Solla Shajvala Jvala Swaha. Vyapakanya Sanghum Fat Swaha. Jivanyasa. Om Ang Ring Krong Yang Rang Lang Bang Shang Shang Sang Hung Hang Shri Durga Devataya Prana Iha Prana. Om Ang Ring Krong Yang Rang Lang Bang Shang Shang Sang Hung Hang Shri Durga
Bhuta
Devataya
Shuddhi,
Jiva Yastitaha. Om Ang
the
Ring Krong Yang
purification
Rang
of
Lang Bang Shang
elements,
Shang Sang Hung Hang Shri Durga
is the
Devataya
purification of the
Sarvendriyam.
body,
Om Ang
which
Ring
is
Krong
composed of the 5 elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether. By this purification, the 5 elements get united with the imperishable Brahman. The underlying idea is to see the 5 elements not as inert substances but as Brahman. The Upanishad says, all this is verily Brahman. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. Not the way we perceive them with our naked eye, but the way the scriptures declare it to be. The whole world is one truth, one reality. When we perceive with a pure mind and under the guidance of the Shastras and the Guru. Bhuta Shuddhi destroys all evil or sinful tendencies which are associated with the Bhutas, which constitute our subtle body primarily, and this ritual produces a new divine body called Sadhana Deha, the body fit for spiritual practice. Various nyasas are being performed by the pujaka. Nyasa is an important and essential part of any puja. The significance of nyasa is to throw away or discard the egoistic feeling of agentship, kartrutva abhimana parityaga, with regard to the body, and to establish in its stead a feeling of divinity or divine presence. The scriptures say nyasa is the establishing of one's chosen deity, Ishtadevata, in the various limbs of one's own body. Nyaso nama tattad devatanam tattad avayaveshu avasthapanam avasthitattvena bhavaneti yavat, says Saubhagya Bhaskara, a commentary on the Lalita Sahasranama. As this feeling of divine presence pervading the body becomes stronger and stronger by the repeated performance of nyasas, the false sense of identification with the body becomes weaker and weaker.
Guru Pujanam Dhyanam. Om Aim Brahmanandam
The nyasas are followed by Guru Puja. Worship of gods is preceded by Guru Puja. One's spiritual master is first worshipped. Then we proceed to worship the deities, the gods and goddesses.
एष दीप ओम ऐं श्री गुरवे नमः
Guru Puja involves the offering of 5 upacharas, Panchopachara Puja, Gandha Pushpa, Dhupa Deepa and Naivedya.
Sri Gurave Nama Phat 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 Om Suprokshitamustu Om Sri Vishnu Pundarikaksha Punatu.
Offering the sandal paste, offering the flower, offering of incense sticks and light, and ceremonial food, a meal. In the morning puja, food offering would be usually made with fruits and sweets. Prayers are uttered to the Guru. Guru Puja having completed, the Pujaka begins to worship Shri Ganesha. Ganesha is the first deity to be worshipped among the Panchadevatas. The Panchadevata Puja is the preliminary worship. When we undertake any grand worship of any deity in the Smarta tradition, Adi Shankaracharya instituted this rule that anywhere in India, whenever we worship any deity, we must first worship these 5 deities. Thus, Shankaracharya harmonized different schools of theism within Hinduism. These 5 deities are the supreme deity of Ganapatya tradition, Sri Ganesha, the supreme god worshipped as part of the Kaumara tradition called Subramanya or Muruka in the south of India. In the north of India, Kumara or Subramanya is replaced by Surya. Surya is the supreme deity worshipped in the Saura tradition. Shiva is to be worshipped, the supreme godhead of Shaiva tradition. Vishnu is to be worshipped, Narayana, the supreme deity of Vaishnavism, and Devi Durga in the form of Kaushiki Devi, the supreme godhead of Shakta tradition.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Dhyayen Nityam Mahesham
All Smartas
accepting
the tradition of Shankaracharya worship these 5 deities at the very outset of the puja rituals and then proceed to worship the primary principal deity for whom the puja is undertaken. Now is Shiva Puja being performed on the Baneshwara Shiva Linga. 5 upacharas are offered. Japa and Dhyana form 2 special parts of any worship. Japa is the repetition of the holy name of God, and meditation is known as dhyana in Sanskrit. Its general meaning is reflection or contemplation.
Om Ram Rim Saraktam
It is said in the Kularnava Tantra,
Sindhum Bhanum Samasta
meditation
Jagatam
is
Adhipam Bhajam
contemplation on the chosen
Padmadvaya
deity,
Bhayavaram
Ishtadevata,
Vatatankara
within one's
Nityam
mind
Marunang
after
Guruchim
controlling
Trimitram
the agitations of the
Ishaganda Om
senses.
Ram Rim Sasri Suryaya Nama Idam Sachandana Pushpam Om Ram Rim Sasri Suryaya Nama
Yavadindriya santapam manasa sanniyamya cha swantena devasya chintanam dhyanam Yavadindriya santapam manasa sanniyamya cha swantena devasya chintanam dhyanam Meditation is of two types, gross and subtle. Gross meditation is on God with form, while subtle meditation is on the formless aspect of God. Dhyanantu dvividham proktam sthula sukshma prabhedatah sakaram sthulamithyahuhu nirakarantu sukshmakam. The sthula dhyana leads to sukshma chintana of the nirakara form of God. The worship of Sakara is the path to the grand realization of the Nirakara aspect of God. In external worship, one is expected to meditate only on the gross form of the deity. That is the purpose of the external worship. When such meditation gradually deepens, it reveals to the worshipper the subtle form, the subtle aspect, and the divine principle behind the deity he is worshipping. Narayana Puja is being performed in the Salagrama. First Snaniyam is offered.
Amagnimile purohitam yagyasya devam ritvijam hotaram ratnadhatamam amishetorjetva vayavastadeva vastavita prarpayatu shreshtatamaya karmani omagnayahi vitai grinano habyodatai nihota.
The first mantras of all the four Vedas are being uttered while the Pujaka is performing the Snana of Narayana. The Snana ceremony of Sriman Narayana will be followed by Panchopachara Puja. Narayana is one of the Panchadevatas, and Panchadevata Puja is one of the preliminary pujas done as part of any grand worship of any deity. Upachara means offering, an item offered in humble submission to the deity. Devoted offering of various items to the deity follows meditation and mental worship. A number of items offered may vary according to the means. It could be a 5-fold or a 10-fold or a 16-fold offering, depending on the nature of worship and the results thereof. 7-fold, 12-fold or 18-fold offering is also enjoined. The attitude behind offering in the worship of the deity is similar to our attitude when we offer things to a beloved, respected guest, worthy of great reverence, who visits our home. Idam sachandana natulasi patram om namaste bahurupaya Vishnave paramatmane swaha Narayanaya namaha. Esha dhupa om Narayanaya namaha.
Isha Deepa Om Narayanaaya Namaha.
After the initial purification
Idam
and related
Sopakarana Bhava
rituals,
Naivedyam Om Narayanaaya Namaha.
various pujas have begun. Narayana Puja is underway.
Isha Sachandana Tulsi Patra Pushpanjali Om Narayanaaya Namaha.
Each upachara
Om Trilokya
before
Pujita
offering
Shriman
is
Sada
worshipped and
Vijayavardhana
divinized.
Shantim Kurugada Pani Narayana Namostute.
In fact,
Namo
even the flowers
Brahmanya
used for
Devaya
the
Go
worship should
Brahmana
first be
Hitaya Cha
worshipped.
Jagadhitaya
Worshipping them
Krishnaya
with the mantra,
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
salutations
Iti Gandhapushpe
to
Om
the
Shri
all-pervading
Lakshmi Namaha.
Supreme Spirit.
Iti Gandhapushpe Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha.
The worshipper should imagine
Jai Durga.
that the
Jai.
flowers are of
Om
the
Hrim
nature of
Jai
Vishnu,
Durga.
who is
Om
their
Hrim
Lord.
Kalabhrabham Katakshairadikulavhaidang Maulibadhendurekham Shankham Chakram Kripanam Trishikamapi
The mind of the worshipper thus will be filled with the idea of divine presence in everything. Thus, having divinized and purified each item, the Archaka proceeds to offer it as an upachara to the chosen deity in front of him. Now Kaishiki Durga or Kaushiki Devi is being worshipped as part of the Panchadevata Puja. A prayer is uttered at the end of the Panchopachara Puja of Kaushiki Durga.
Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarkumabandhanat Mrityormukshyaamritat Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahi Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat Om
Durga Puja is an all India festival celebrated in honor of the Divine Mother in the autumn season. The Mother is known by various names in various parts of India, and these names are mentioned in various lists such as Lalita Sahasranama, Durga Saptashati, Devi Bhagavatam, etc. These various names related to different goddesses really do not represent different deities, different independent deities, but only various aspects and attributes of one and the same deity, the Supreme Mother of the universe, according to the Tantra Shastra. When the supreme spiritual reality appears as creator, preserver and destroyer, we call it Shakti. When it is inactive, we call it Brahman. But really it is one and the same thing, indivisible. Indivisible, says Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. The Devi Upanishad says, Kasitvam Mahadevi? A question was put to Devi, and she replied, Sabravit, Aham Brahmaswarupini, Mattaha Prakriti Purushatmakam Jagat, Esha Atma Shaktihi, Esha Shrihi, Mahavidya, etc. She says, Aham Brahmaswarupini, Mattaha Prakriti Purushatmakam Jagat. I am the form of Brahman. The whole universe, including Purusha and Prakriti, has come from me. Devihi Eka Agre Asit. Says Bhravrajopaniषद, just as the Chandogya Upanishad declares, Sadevagra Asit Ekameva Dvitiyam. Sat in Chandogya Upanishad means Parabrahman, Paramatman. And the same spiritual truth is declared as the Parashakti Swarupini Bhagavati. When the Upanishad says, Devi hi ekagre asit Saiva Jagadandam Asrajat. Only Devi existed in the beginning before creation. It is only she who created the world. When God is conceived of as a glorified human being, it is quite possible to conceive him of as being either male or female. The idea of creation of the world suggested the idea of procreation also. The creator can be a mother. The creator God of the whole universe can be conceptualized as the Supreme Mother. In Sanskrit, the word Shakti itself, as well as the other words like Prakriti, Maya, Vidya, etc., are in the feminine gender. Therefore, easily they lend themselves to be conceived of as belonging to a woman, as referring to a female. As the absolute truth of the Vedanta philosophy is conceived of as Shiva, Vishnu and other godheads in different traditions to make Upasana plausible. The same truth is conceived of as Devi, the Supreme Mother of this universe in the Shakta tradition. Om Daksha Jagga Vinashinyai Mahaghoraye Yogini Koti Parivritaye Bhadrakalye Om Durgaye Namaha. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa narrates a story in the Kathamrita. Sri Ramakrishna asked, is Shyama male or female? Is Devi Durga male or female? And he proceeds to narrate a story. A man once saw the image of the Divine Mother, Durga, wearing a sacred thread. He said to the worshipper, "What? You have put the sacred thread on the mother's neck?" The worshipper said, "I see that you have truly known the mother, but I have not yet been able to find out whether she is male or female. That is why I have put the sacred thread on the image." The story says, the story signifies the message that Shyama is also Brahman. Now Devi's dhyana is being performed.
Sucharu dashanam tadavat pidonnatapayodharam tribhangasthana sangsthanam mahishasuramardinim mrinalayata sangsparsha dashavahu samanvitam trishulam dakshini dhyeyam kharagam chakram kramadadaha तीक्ष्णबाणं तथा शक्तिं दक्षिणे सुविचिन्तयेत् खेटकं पूर्णचापं च पाशमङ्कुशमेव च घण्टां वा परशुं वापि वामतः सन्निवेशयेत् अधस्तान्महिषं तद्वद् विशिरस्कं प्रदर्शयेत् शिरश्छेदोद्भवं तद्बद्धानवङ्खर्गपाणिनं हृदिशूलेन निर्भिन्नं निर्यतन्त्रविभूषितं रक्तारक्तिकृताङ्गं च रक्तविस्फुरितेक्षणं वेष्टितन्नागपाशेन भ्रूकुटीभीषणाननं सपाशवामहस्तेन धृतकेशं च दुर्गया वमतरुधिरवक्त्रं च दिव्या सिंहं प्रदर्शयेत् दिव्यास्तु दक्षिणं पादं समं सिंहोपरि स्थितं किञ्चिदूर्ध्वं तथा वाममङ्गुष्ठं महिषोपरि प्रसन्नवदनां देवीं सर्वकामफलप्रदं शत्रुक्षयकरीं देवीं दैत्यदानवदर्पहं स्तूयमानं च तद्रूपममरैः सन्निवेशयेत् उग्रचण्डा प्रचण्डा च चण्डोग्रा चण्डनायिका चण्डा चण्डवती चैव चण्डरूपाति चण्डिका आभिशक्तिभिरष्टाभिः सततं परिवेष्टितं चिन्तयेत् जगतां धात्रीं धर्मकामार्थमोक्षदाम् ॐ हृत्पद्मं आसनं
Devi's dhyana is followed by Manasa Puja,
पाद्यं चरणयोर्दद्यात्
offering worship mentally
निवेदयेत्
to Devi Durga.
तेनामृतेनाचमनीयं स्नानीयं तेन च स्मृतम् आकाशतत्त्वं वस्त्रं स्याद् गन्धः स्याद् गन्धतत्त्वकं चित्तं प्रकल्पयेत् पुष्पं धूपं प्राणान् प्रकल्पयेत् तेजस्तत्त्वं च दीपार्थं नैवेद्यं स्यात् सुधाम्बुधिः अनाहतध्वनिर्घण्टा वायुतत्त्वं च चामरं सहस्रारं भवेत् छत्रं शब्दतत्त्वं च गीतकं नृत्यमिन्द्रियकर्माणि चाञ्चल्यं मनसस्तथा सुमेखलां पद्ममालां पुष्पं नानाविधं तथा अमायाद्यैर्भावपुष्पैरर्चयेद्भावगोचरम् अमायं मनहङ्कारं मरागं मदं तथा अमोहकमदम्भं च अद्वेषाक्षोभकौ तथा अमात्सर्यमलोभं च दशपुष्पं विदुर्बुधा अहिंसा परमं पुष्पं पुष्पमिन्द्रियनिग्रहः दयापुष्पं क्षमापुष्पं ज्ञानपुष्पं च पञ्चमम् इति पञ्चदशैर्भावपुष्पैः सम्पूजयेत् शिवाम् दानार्घ्यं स्थापयेत्
Manasa Puja is performed.
इति गन्धपुष्पे
For
ॐ
Devi
ह्रीं
Durga,
आधारशक्तये नमः त्रिपादिकं
Mother was
प्रक्षाल्य
worshipped
तदुपरि
mentally.
स्थापयेत्
And now Danarghya Sthapana will take place.
ओमिति गन्धपुष्पे मां बह्निमण्डलाय
Danarghya is also
दशकलात्मने
known
नमः
as Vishesharghya.
अर्घपात्रम्
This is a special offering in the Shankha Patra
द्वादशकलात्मने नमः
which will be offered as a gift to the deity during the Shodashopachara.
अर्घ रचना
The fundamentals of the Mahanabamir Puja are very similar to those on the previous days. Preliminary prayers and purificatory rituals consecrating the puja materials and offerings are now in progress. Danarghya Sthapanam is being performed as a preparation for the Shodashopachara Puja. After the Danarghya Sthapana, some more rites will take place. Once again Devi's Dhyanam will be performed, and then the Shodashopachara
इति
will
गन्धपुष्पे
begin.
ॐ सोममण्डलाय षोडशकलात्मने नमः बषट्
Before worshipping the main deity Devi Durga, many other gods and goddesses are also worshipped. These deities are always worshipped at the beginning of every occasion of a puja ceremony. Having propitiated these devatas, the Archaka proceeds to worship the main deity of the puja.
फट 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 ऊर्ध्व तालत्रयम धेनु योनि परमीकरणम मुद्राम प्रदर्शय.
These preliminary pujas are meant for deities like Dwara Devatas, Brahma, Vastu Purusha, Surya, and then Guru is worshipped. Guru Puja is followed by the Panchadevata Puja. Panchadevatas are the 5 deities who represent the 5 main theistic schools of Hinduism. Ganapati is the supreme deity worshipped by the adherents of Ganapatyam. Kartikeya, the Ishtadevata of the theological tradition of Kaumaram. Or alternatively, Surya, the sun god, the supreme deity of the Saura tradition. Shiva, the god of Shaivism, Shaiva tradition. Vishnu, the supreme deity of Vaishnava. And Sri Jayadurga or Kaushiki Durga, the Paradevata of the theistic tradition of Shakta Parampara. These 5 deities, along with Surya Devata, are worshipped by the Smarta Sampradaya at the commencement of any major puja ritual. Having done these preliminary pujas, now the primary rites which lead to the Shodashopachara offering of Devi Durga have begun. Now Pitha Puja and Pitha Shakti Puja are being performed. This is the consecration of the ceremonial seat of Devi Durga. Durga Puja with image of Devi Durga as Mahishasuri Mardini was performed for the first time in Belur under the directions of Swami Vivekananda in 1901. That year, Navami Tithi fell on the 21st of October. Today, on this Holy Navami Tithi, Devi Durga's Shodashopachara Puja is underway. Devi's dhyana is being performed.
Trishulam dakshine dhyayam kharagam chakram kramadadaha Tikshnabanam tatha shakting dakshineshu vichintait Ketakang purna chapancha pashamankushamevacha Ghantamba parashumba pivamatas sanniveshait Adhastan mahisham tadvad vishiraskam pradarshait Shiraschedodbhavam tadvaddanavam kharagapaninam Ridishulena nirvindan niryadantra vibhushitam Raktarakati kritangancha rakta vispurite kshanam Vishtitan nagapashena bhrukuti bhishananam Sapashavamahastena dhritakeshancha durgaya वमतरुधिरवक्त्रं च दिव्या सिंहं प्रदर्शयेत् दिव्यास्तु दक्षिणं पादं समं सिंहो परिस्थितं किञ्चिदूर्ध्वं तथा वाममङ्गुष्ठं महिषोपरि प्रसन्नवदनां देवीं सर्वकामफलप्रदां शत्रुक्षयकरीं देवीं दैत्यदानवदर्पहां स्तूयमानं च तत्रूपममरैः सन्निवेशयेत् उग्रचण्डा प्रचण्डा च चण्डोग्रा चण्डनायिका चण्डा चण्डवती चैव चण्डरूपातिचण्डिका आभिशक्तिभिरष्टाभिः सततं परिवेष्टितं चिन्तयेज्जगतां धात्रीं धर्मकामार्थमोक्षदाम्.
Having completed Devi Dhyanam, the Pujaka now proceeds to the Shodashopachara Puja of Devi Durga. Various offerings, usually referred to as the upacharas, are made to the Devi, beginning with Rajatasana. Sacred ritual manuals, the puja paddhatis, prescribe various procedures for performing them. In the Durga Puja, योगिनी कोटि परिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं दुर्गायै नमः. Mother Durga and her companions are worshipped with the maximum number of upacharas possible. तस्यै ते परमेशानि स्वागतं स्वागतं च मे ओम भूर्भुवस्सुः ओम दक्षयज्ञविनाशिन्यै महाघोरायै योगिनी कोटि परिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं दुर्गायै नमः. श्री भगवद्दुर्गे देवी स्वागतं सुस्वागतं ते. Take the seat offered to her and accept the puja graciously. Padyam is offered to Mother Durga. Padyam is the water to wash feet. In the Durga Puja, the God is worshipped as the mother of the universe. The Sanatana Hindu Dharma teaches that the Supreme Brahman, the Creator, the Protector, the Savior of the universe, can also be the Supreme Mother. Parabrahman is the Prakriti of the Prapancha. Upanishads describe the Brahman as the only source and support and goal of the whole universe. Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisamvishanti tad vijijñāsasva tad brahmeti, says the Taittiriya Upanishad. Vyasacharya has also composed an aphorism, a sutra, in the Shariraka Mimamsa Shastra, Prakritischa Pratikya Drishtantanuparodha. The Brahman, the Paramatman, is the Prakriti of the universe. So in Vedanta, Prakriti, the word is in feminine gender. Prakriti means the Upadana Karana, the supreme cause of this world, of the whole world. And this Prakriti is none other than Brahman. The Brahman, the Paramatman, is the Prakriti of the Prapancha. The one who gives birth and nourishes the children and protects them is better known as the mother in the world. Mother is the most appropriate description of the Paramatman, who creates, who nourishes, and who protects all this in the universe. Durga Puja is the worship of this mother.
Omuchishtamapyashuchirivayasya smaranamatrata shuddhimaprati tasyaite punarachmaniyakam idam punarachmaniyudakam.
Various upacharas are consecrated and worshipped, and then they are offered to Mother one by one by uttering the mantras and offering prayers. Mahanabamir is commemorated as the victory of the supreme knowledge over ignorance and bondage. The Divine Mother, the embodiment of Paravidya, subdued the Asura who embodied the lust and other evils arising out of ignorance. On the Navami Tithi, the battle between Devi Durga and the demon Mahishasura reached its acme, culminating in Devi's victory. Mother is the Mahishasura Mardini on the Navami Tithi. Her victory over the Mahishasura will be celebrated tomorrow, the Vijayadashami.
Magnimile purohitam yagyasya devam ritwijam hotaram ratnadhatamam umishetorayet bhavaya vastadeva
Snaniyodakam is offered for Devi Durga as part of the Shodashopachara Puja.
hota satsibarhishi shanno devi rabhishtaye shanno bhavantu pitaye shangyo ravisravan.
The first mantras of all the four Vedas are chanted as part of this ceremony. This is followed by the offering of clothes.
Bhangatebhyo sopavitavastrebhyo nama bhangatebhyo sopavitavastrebhyo nama bhangatebhyo sopavitavastrebhyo nama mitigandhapushpetebhyo sopavitavastrebhyo nama.
Durga is the most widely worshipped form of the Shakti. An entire Purana, the Devi Bhagavatam, is dedicated to her. The word Durga literally means the one who is difficult to approach or difficult to know. She is the personification of the totality of the powers of all the gods. Her true nature is a divine secret, Daiva Rahasyam.
Bhangatasmai swarnabharanaya nama bhangatasmai swarnabharanaya nama omiti gandhapushpe tasmai swarnabharanaya.
However, being the mother of the universe, she is the personification of tender love when we surrender ourselves to her.
Idam swarnabharanam om daksha jagabhinashinyai mahaghorayai yogini koti paribritayai bhadrakalai hrim om durgayai namaha. Shankhabharanam.
We come across three main manifestations of the Supreme Goddess in the Shastras: Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. These three aspects are not exactly same as the Puranic deities by these names. Gauri, Parvati, Lakshmi and Saraswati are extolled in the Puranas based on different systems of faith and worship acceptable to various Puranic traditions. In Durga Saptashati, on the other hand, and similar other sacred books of the Shakta tradition, these three deities, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati, are three manifestations of the one supreme power Maheshwari. According to the prevalence of one of the three gunas of the Supreme Shakti, Mahamaya, she manifests in the universe as Mahakali, Mahalakshmi or Mahasaraswati. Mahakali is the manifestation of Devi Durga through her tamasic aspect. The dhyana mantra, which is to be recited before we read the Prathama Charita of the Durga Saptashati, describes Mahakali. Khadgam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Paridhan Shulam Bhushunding Shiraha Shankham Sandadhatim Karaistrinayanam Sarvanga Bhushavritam Yam Hantum Madhukaitabham Yam Hantum Madhukaitabhau Jalajabhu Tushtava Sukte Harau Neelashmadyuti Masya Pada Dashakam Seve Mahakalika. Mahakali has 10 faces and 10 feet. She is the Bhadrakali. She is deep blue in color like the gem Neelamani. She is bedecked with ornaments and wheels. In her 10 hands these weapons and objects: swords, discus, mace, arrow, bow, iron club, lance, sling, human head and conch. Being the personification of the tamasic aspect of the Devi, Devi Bhadrakali or Mahakalika is also the Yoga Nidra who has put Bhagavan Vishnu to sleep. It is to her that Brahma prayed, requesting her to leave Lord Vishnu so that he could destroy the demons Madhu and Kaitabha. Mahakalika is the personification of Maya, the mysterious power of Lord Vishnu. Unless she is pleased and voluntarily withdraws, the Lord in us will not wake up and destroy the evil tendencies trying to overpower us. In the Puja Mandapa, Devi's grand puja is being performed with 16 upacharas. Om Amritodvavamaluras Shankarasya Sadapriya Villapatram Prayachami Pavitrante Sureshwari Imani Sachandana Bilvadalani Om Dakshajagabinashinyai Mahaghorayi Yogini Koti. Devi Durga manifests in the universe according to Sri Sri Chandi as Mahakali, as Mahalakshmi and as Mahasaraswati. Mahalakshmi is a manifestation through the Rajasic aspect of Devi Durga. The dhyana mantra, which is to be recited before we read the Madhyama Charita of the Durga Saptashati, describes Mahalakshmi. It says, Akshasrak Parashum Gadeshu Kulisham Padmam Dhanuh Kundikam Dandam Shaktim Asincha Charma Jalajam Ghantam Surabhajanam Shulam Pasha Sudarshane Cha Dadhatim Hastaih Pravala Prabham Seve Sairibhamardinim Iha Mahalakshmim Sarojasthitam. Mahalakshmi is the Rajasic aspect of the Devi. Naivedya is being offered as part of the Shodashopachara Puja. Fruits and sweets and savories are offered to Devi Durga. Today is the holy Navami Tithi of the Durga Puja at Belur Mutt. Devi is worshipped here in the form of Mahishasura Dalani, Mahishasura Mardini. On her left side, there is Mahasaraswati, and on her right side, we can see Mahalakshmi, another aspect of the Universal Mother. Mahalakshmi is the Rajasic aspect of the Devi. She is red in color like the coral. She holds in her 18 hands the rosary, battle axe, mace, arrow, thunderbolt, lotus, bow, water pot, cudgel, lance, sword, shield, conch, bell, wine cup, trident, noose, and the discus called Sudarshana. Devi Mahalakshmi was born out of the combined wrath and power of all the gods. She is determined to fight and defeat the evil forces in Durga Saptashati. That is why she is shown as red in color, the color of valor, the color of war. It is she who destroyed Mahishasura, according to Sri Sri Chandi. The story of Mahishasura has several implications. Mahishasura has the form of a he-buffalo. He represents the jungle law that might is right. He is the ruthless and brutal force that does not brook any opposition, where selfish ends are concerned. And he succeeded even against gods, but only when they were divided. But he fell before their combined powers and the will to fight. The divine power, well combined and organized, with an awakened will to resist the evil, is what the Devi Mahishasura Mardini represents. The lesson of this episode in the Durga Saptashati is given to us in a very obvious fashion, and it needs no explanation. At a subjective level, Mahishasura stands for ignorance and stubborn egoism. Its subjugation and conquest are possible only when a spiritual aspirant pools all his energies together and fights it with a tenacious will. God helps him who helps himself. The intervention of the divine power in his favor is bound to happen. In the Puja Mandap, food offering is made to Devi Durga as part of the Shodashopachara Puja. Mahasaraswati is another aspect of Devi Durga. Mahasaraswati is depicted in the image which is worshipped as part of Durga Puja on the left side of Devi Durga. Mahasaraswati is the sattvic aspect of Devi Durga.
गोत्रित्वं गृहाणास्मत्कृतं जपं
Sattva
सिद्धिर्भवतु मे देवी तत्प्रसादं महेश्वरी ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली
The
कपालिनी
dhyana
दुर्गा
mantra
शिवा क्षमा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा
which is to be
नमोस्तुते
recited before we read the Uttara Charita of Durga
दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै
Saptashati
महाघोरायै
describes
योगिनी
Mahasaraswati.
कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ओम दुर्गायै नमः ओम जयंती
घंटा शूल हलानि शंख मुसले
दुर्गा शिवा क्षमा धात्री
चक्रम
स्वाहा
धनुः
स्वधा
सायकम्
नमोस्तुते ईश सचंदन पत्र
हस्ताब्जैर्दधति घनान्त
योगिनी
विलसच्छीतांशु
कोटि
तुल्यप्रभा
परिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ओम दुर्गायै
गौरी
नमः
देह समुद्भवां त्रिजगतामाधारभूतां महापूर्वामत्र सरस्वतीमनुभजे
नमोस्तुते
शुम्भादिवैद्यार्दिनी
पुष्पांजलि ओम दक्ष जग विनाशिन्यै महाघोरायै योगिनी कोटि
Mahasaraswati is bright like the autumn moon
ओम जयंती मंगला
and
काली
has
भद्रकाली
8 hands
कपालिनी
in
दुर्गा
which
शिवा
she
क्षमा
holds
धात्री
the
स्वाहा
bell,
स्वधा
the trident,
नमोस्तुते ईश सचंदन
plowshare,
पत्र पुष्पांजलि ओम
conch,
दक्ष जग विनाशिन्यै
pestle,
महाघोरायै योगिनी
discus,
कोटि
bow and
परिवृतायै
arrow.
भद्रकाली ह्रीं ओम दुर्गायै नमः ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी
It is she who manifests out of the divine body of Devi Gauri Parvati and hence known as Kaushiki Durga. Mahasaraswati is the very personification of physical perfection and beauty. She is the power of work, order and organization.
शरणागत दीनार्थ परित्राण परायणे सर्वस्यार्ति हरे देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते प्रणतानां प्रसीदत्वं देवी विश्वार्तिहारिणी त्रैलोक्यवासिनामीड्ये लोकानां वरदा भव प्रसीद भगवत्यम्ब प्रसीद भक्तवत्सले प्रसादं कुरु मे देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते.
In the Durga Saptashati, the section dealing with Mahasaraswati's exploits is the longest. Dhumralochana, Chanda, Munda, Raktabija, Nishumbha and Shumbha are the chief demons destroyed by the Devi in her aspect as Mahasaraswati. Having completed the Shodashopachara Puja, now is the time for Aratrikam. First is Karpura Arati. Arati is consecrated with various mudras. Arati is performed to the accompaniment of loud, resounding sound of हंसयुक्त विमानस्थे ब्रह्माणी रूपधारिणी कौशाम्भक्षरिते देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते. त्रिशूलचन्द्राहिधरे महावृषभधारिणी त्रिशूलचन्द्राहिधरे महावृषभवाहिनी माहेश्वरी स्वरूपेण नारायणि नमोस्तुते मयूरकुक्कुटवृते महाशक्तिधरे नभे कौमारी रूपसंस्थाने नारायणि नमोस्तुते शङ्खचक्रगदाशार्ङ्ग गृहीत परमायुधे प्रसीद वैष्णवी रूपे नारायणि नमोस्तुते गृहीतोग्रमहाचक्रे दंष्ट्रोद्धृतवसुन्धरे वराहरूपिणि शिवे नारायणि नमोस्तुते नृसिंहरूपेणोग्रेण हन्तुं दैत्यान् कृतोद्यमे त्रैलोक्यत्राणसहिते नारायणि नमोस्तुते. The Karpura Arati is concluded and the Pujaka and Tantradharaka are performing Sashtanga Pranama at the feet of Devi Durga. Kiritini Mahavajre Sahasra Nayanojjwale Vritra Pranahare Chaindri Narayani Namostute. Salutations be to you, O Narayani, you who have a diadem and a great thunderbolt. You are dazzling with 1,000 eyes. You took away the life of Vritra, the demon. Salutation be to you, O Narayani. You have the form of Shiva Duti. You slew the mighty hosts of the Daityas. You have a terrible form and a tremendous noise. Salutations be to you, O Narayani. You are the Chamunda, you are the slayer of Chanda and Munda. A large number of devotees have assembled in the Puja Mandapa. Revered Matajis, the nuns of the Sharada Mutt are present. The monks and brahmacharins of the Ramakrishna Sangha are present. Devotees have assembled to witness the puja, to make prayers, to make their offerings. Shodashopachara puja having completed, now another phase of the worship begins. In this phase, Devi's Parivara Devatas will be worshipped by various upacharas. Anga Shaktis of Devi Durga will be worshipped first. Today is the holy Navami Tithi of the Durga Puja. In the Puja Mandapa at Belur Mutt, Devi's Shodashopachara Puja is completed. Now the Parivara Puja, Parivara Devata Pujas begin. First, the 6 Anga Devatas of the Divine Mother Durga will be worshipped. There is Hridayanga Shakti, Shiranga Shakti, Shikhanga Shakti, Kavachanga Shakti, Netranga Shakti and Astranga Shakti. These are the 6 Anga Devatas of the Devi. Panchopachara Puja is done to each of these Devatas.
ईश चंदन पत्र पुष्पांजलि ओम ह्रीं शिरसे स्वाहा शीरोंग शक्तये नमः ओम ह्रीं
Anga Shakti
शिरसे
Puja
स्वाहा शीरोंग शक्तये
will
नमः
be followed by
ईश गंध ओम ह्रीं
Avarana
शिखायै व
Devata Puja.
षट्शिखांग शक्तये नमः इति गंध पुष्पे ओम ह्रीं शिखायै व षट्शिखांग शक्तये नमः इदं स चंदन बिल्वदलम ओम ह्रीं शिखायै व षट्शिखांग शक्तये नमः ईश धूप ओम ह्रीं शिखायै व षट्शिखांग शक्तये नमः ईश दीप ओम ह्रीं शिखायै व
The power or active aspect of the immanent God is called Shakti, because in this aspect God produces, God nourishes and maintains the whole universe. In her static, in her majestic and stately form, Devi has manifested as Mahishasuramardini for the welfare of humanity and for the eradication of evil.
ईश सचंदन पत्र पुष्पांजलि ओम ह्रीं कवचाय हूँ कवचांग शक्तये नमः ओम ह्रीं कवचाय हूँ कवचांग शक्तये नमः ईश गंध ओम ह्रौं नेत्रत्रयाय भूषट नेत्रांग शक्तये नमः.
In the Shakta Parampara, God is regarded as both power holder and the male Shiva, and as power or Shakti, the divine spouse and mother. God is both Shakti and Shakta. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Nache Devam Devo Nakhalu Kushala Spanditumapi, says Adi Shankaracharya in the beginning of Saundarya Lahari. While Shiva represents the consciousness aspect of the real, Shakti is its aspect as mind, life and matter. He is the liberation aspect of the real. She is in the form of universe or samsara. Both are at root one. Shakta teaching in this respect is thus non-dualist, in the sense that Shiva and Shakti are both really one. Devi is described in the Ananda Lahari and in Saundarya Lahari. Adi Shankaracharya describes her as the supreme means to attain the supreme self. Devi's Avarana Pujas are being worshipped now. The Avarana Devatas of Devi Durga are worshipped as part of Devi's worship. There is a large number of devatas who are present encircling the Divine Mother. They attend on the Divine Mother, they serve and entertain her. They are always ready to run errands for the Mother and obey her orders instantly. These Avarana Devatas include the Ugra Chanda, Om Prachande Dharmade Nityam Suprite Suranaike Sarvanandakare Devi Tubhyang Nityang Namo Namaha Dakshinadale Neeladhvaja Chandogra Om Chandogram Neelabaranam Tu Sarva Bhuta Bhaya Pradam Divyabharana Sangyuktam Lakshmi Rupancha Sharabhujam There is Chanda, there is Prachanda, there is Chandogra, Chandanayika, Chandavati, Chandarupa, Ati Chandika and Rudra Chandika.
Shrim Chando Graye Namaha. Idam Sopakarana Bhaganai Vidyam Om Hrim Shrim Chando Graye Namaha.
Each of these Avarana Devatas is represented by a flag which is placed near the ghata. The worship is performed where these flags are installed representing these Avarana Devatas.
Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Shrim Chandanayikaye Namaha. Isha Dhupa Om Rim Shrim Chandanayikaye Namaha. Isha Deepa Om Rim Shrim Chandanayikaye Namaha. Idam Sopakarana Bhaganai Vidyam Om Rim Shrim Chandanayikaye Namaha. Isha Sachandana Patra Pushpanjali Om Hrim Shrim Chandanayikaye Namaha.
In the Durga Saptashati, Devi Durga destroyed a host of asuras. Dhumralochana, Chanda, Munda, Raktabija, Nishumbha, Shumbha, Mahishasura, among others. These asuras are the archetypes of evil ego. They revel in a life of pleasures of body and sense organs. Symbolically, these asuras represent various stages and states of egoism. If the smoky-eyed Dhumralochana stands for the grossest state of ignorance and egoism, the blood-born Raktabija represents a more subtle state which multiplies itself, and through that our troubles as well. While Munda is the low profile of our egoism, since Munda means the low, Chanda is the more horrible side of our ego, since Chanda means fierce. Shumbha and Nishumbha signify more brilliant and intense aspects of the evil ego, because Shumbha means brilliant. Dhumralochana was destroyed by the Devi by a hunkara, a sound of disapproval, a mere frown. Chanda and Munda were too mean to be handled by the Devi directly. Hence, Kali, the horrible, finished them at her behest. Raktabija required more skillful handling. The source of his strength was destroyed first before destroying him. As for Nishumbha and Shumbha, the Devi was obliged to give them a straight fight. After all, Durvritta Vritta Shamanam Tava Devi Shilam, it is Devi's habit to destroy the evildoers always. Durvritta Vritta Shamanam Tava Devi Shilam Rupam Tathaita Davicintya Matulya Manyehi Viryancha Hantra Krita Deva Parakramanam Vairishvapi Prakatitaiva Daya Tvayetha Kenopama Bhavatu Tesya Parakramasya Rupancha Shatru Bhayakari Atihari Kutra Chitte Kripa Samaranishthurata Cha Drishta Tvayeva Devi Varade Bhuvanatrayepi. Ishagandha Om Rim Shrim Rudra Chandikaye Namah Iti Gandha Pushpe Om Rim Shrim Rudra Chandikaye Namah Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Shrim Rudra Chandika Bilpata. In the Puja Mandap, the Avarana Devatas of Devi Durga are being worshipped. The image of Devi Durga is the most iconic part of the Durga Puja. Devi's image can have sometimes 4 hands or 8 or 10 or 18 or even 20 hands. In Belur Mutt, the image of Mother Durga has 10 hands. The eyes of the Devi are usually 3 in her depictions. The hair is sometimes dressed up as a crown called Karanda Mukuta, and sometimes it is shown as disheveled. She is gorgeously dressed in red clothes and several ornaments. Among the objects held in her hand, the more common are the conch, the discus, trident, bow, arrow, sword, dagger, shield, rosary, wine cup, and a bell. Mother Durga may be sometimes shown standing on a lotus or on or as riding a lion, the royal beast, is the mount of Devi Durga. She is Simhavahini. In the Durga Puja, the lion is worshipped as a form of the Lord Vishnu, reminding the devotees about the Narasimha Avatara the Lord took to protect his devotees from the dangers posed by the demons through contrived ways.
गौर्यै नमः इदं सचन्दनबिल्वदलम् ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं गौर्यै नमः एष धूप ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं गौर्यै नमः एष दीप ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं गौर्यै नमः इदं सोपकरणभागनैवेद्यम् ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं गौर्यै नमः एष
The Avarana Puja of Ugrachanda and other deities is followed by Chatushashti Yogini Puja.
एष ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं इन्द्राण्यै नमः.
In Bengali, Chatushashti Yoginis are also called as Chaushati Yoginis. Chaushati means 64. These 64 Yogini Devatas are worshipped one by one using Pancha Upacharas. There is Brahmani, Chandika, Raudri, Gauri, Indrani, Kaumari, Bhairavi, Durga, Narasimhi, Kalika, Chamunda, Shivaduti, Varahi, Kaushiki, Maheshwari, Shankari, Jayanti, Sarvamangala, Kali, Karali, Medha, Shiva, Shakambhari, Bhima, Shanta, Brahmari, Rudrani, Ambika, Kshama, Dhatri, Swaha, Swadha, Archana, Mahodari, Ghorarupa, Mahakali, Bhadrakali, Kapalini, Kshemankari, Ugrachanda, Chandogra, Chandanayika, Chanda, Chandavati, Chandi, Mahamoha, Priyankari, Balavikarani, Balapramathini, Manonmathani, Sarvabhutadamani, Uma, Tara, Mahanidra, Vijaya, Jaya, Shailaputri, Chandika, Chandraghanta, Kushmanda, Skandamata, Katyayani, Kalaratri,
idam sopakarana bhagane
Mahagauri.
Om Rim Sing Maheshwari Shankar Yeshakanda Om Rim Sing Shankar.
These are the deities
Om Rim Sing Shankar Yainamai Shadhu
who go by the
Om
name
Rim Sing
of
Shankar Yainamai
Chatushashti
Om Rim Sing
yoginis.
Shankar Yainamai Shadip Om Rim Sing Shankar Yainama idam
Each
sopakarana
of these
bhagane
deities
Om Rim Sing Shankar
is
Yainama
individually worshipped
Jayanti Yeshakanda Om
with
Rim Sing
5
Jayanti
offerings
Inamai Pushpa Om Rim Sing Jayanti
as
Inamai
part of
Satandana Bilbadam
Devi
Om Rim
Durga's
Sing Jayanti Inamai
grand
Shadhupa Om
worship,
Rim Sing
which is now
Jayanti Inamai
taking
Shadhupa
place in
Om
the
Rim
Puja
Sing
Mandapa.
Jayanti Inamai Sarvamangalaye Yeshakanda Om Rim Sing Sarvamangalaye Nama Yeshakanda Om Rim Sing Sarvamangalaye Nama Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Sing Sarvamangalaye
Chatushashti Yogini Puja will be followed by Navadurga Puja.
Ishadipa Om Rim Sing Sarvamangalaye Nama
9 special aspects of Devi
Om Rim
Durga,
Sing Kalye
9 different forms of Devi Durga.
Ishadhu Kalye Nama Ishadhupa Om Rim Sing Kalye Nama Ishadipa Om Rim Sing Kalye Nama Isha Chatandana Patra Pushpanjali Om Rim Sing Om Karalinne Ishakanda Om Rim Sing Karalinne Nama Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Sing Karalinne Nama Isha Idam Satandana Bilbadalam Om Rim Sing Karalinne Nama Ishadhupa Om Rim Sing Karalinne Nama Idam Sopakarana Bhagane Vidyam
Various forms of the Parashakti are realized by the sages of the Sanatana Dharma, and they have prescribed various procedures of upasana of these forms of the Devi based on the Adhikari Bheda, the differences of the spiritual aspirants. Tantra is not an exclusive term that refers to the worship of the Shakti. Shakta Tantra is one among the many traditions of the Tantra that developed in India and is still practiced in India and elsewhere. There is Shaiva Tantra, which is also called the Agama Shastra. There is of course the Shakta Tantra, which is in which Shakti is the supreme deity. There is also Ganapatya Tantra, in which Ganapati is the chief deity of worship. Saura Tantra, in which Sun is the primordial force and supreme god. And there are Vaishnava Tantras like Pancharatra and Vaikhanasa traditions, in which Narayana is the chief deity. In the Shakta tradition, there are many sub-schools of the chief ancient tradition of Shakta worship, and there are many denominations. 3 of these paramparas are specially recognizable: Dakshinachara, Kaula Marga and Samayachara. The Dakshina Tantra of the Shakta tradition incorporates the Vedic practices more closely and abundantly. In the Kaula Marga, yogic practices take the center stage. Kundalini Yoga is an inseparable part of the Kaula Tantra. The third important parampara that we can recognize still in the Shakta tradition is the Samayachara tradition. Samayachara is mainly a mental process of sadhana. In the Samayachara, external upacharas are not important. Samayachara is an upasana paddhati which is mostly practiced by the monks belonging to the Advaitic tradition of Sri Shankaracharya. Saundarya Lahari is a famous scripture composed by Adi Shankaracharya, which prescribes the nuances of the Samayachara form of worship.
Mahakalyai, Ishaganda Om Rim Sri Mahakalyai Namaite Ganda Pushpa Om Rim Sri Mahakalyai Namaidam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Sri Mahakalyai.
In the Dakshinachara and Samayachara, Shri Yantra is used as an object of worship and meditation. In the Kaulachara, the rituals and symbolism are distinct from that of the other two. Kaulachara is more predominant in northeastern states of India, especially in Bengal. The rituals and symbolism are distinct in Kaulachara from the other two traditions of the Tantra, namely Dakshinachara and Samayachara. Kaula tradition preserves some of the distinctive features of the ancient Kapalika tradition of Shaivism. In Kaula Marga, there are many subdivisions, each having a particular form of the Devi as the object of its devotion, and each possessing a separate category of books and practices. In the Kulachara, the Dashamaha Vidyas are worshipped with special importance. These are the 10 wisdom goddesses, 10 special manifestations of Devi Durga. These Dashamahavidyas, the wisdom goddesses, are invoked and worshipped as part of the Durga Puja as well. Kali, Tara, Tripura Sundari, Bhuvaneshwari, Bhairavi, Chinnamasta, Dhumavati, Bagalamukhi, Matangi and Kamala are the 10 Mahavidyas of the Shakta Sampradaya.
Mahamohai, Yeshaganda Om Rim Sri Mahamohai Namaite Ganda Pushpa Om Rim Sri Mahamohai Namaidam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Sri Mahamohai Nama Ishadhupa Om Rim Sri Mahamohai Nama Ishadhi
Chatushashti Yogini Puja is now taking place in the Puja Mandap.
Priyankariyai, Yeshaganda Om Rim Sri Priyankariyai Namaite Ganda Pushpa Om Rim Sri Priyankariyai Namaidam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Sri Priyankariyai Nama Ishadhupa Om Rim Sri Priyankariyai Nama Balavikaranyai, Yeshaganda Om Rim Srim Balavikaranyai Namaite Ganda Pushpa Om Rim Srim Balavikaranyai Namaidam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Srim Balavikaranyai.
Today is the Mahanabamir Tithi of the Durga Puja. Mahanavami is on the 9th lunar day of the Shukla Paksha in the month of Ashwin. Om Rim Sri Manonumathanai Namaite Ganda Pushpa Om Rim Sri Manonumathanai Namaite Ganda Pushpa Om Rim Sri Manonumathanai Nama Today, on the Mahanavami Tithi, the 9th lunar day of the Shukla Paksha in the month of Ashwin, Devi Durga's elaborate worship is taking place in the Puja Mandapa at Belur Mutt, the headquarters of Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission, founded by Swami Vivekananda. The Swamis and Brahmacharyans of the Ramakrishna order and a large number of devotees are present in the Puja Mandapa. Om Rim Sri Tarai Nama Mahanidrayi, Yeshaganda Om Rim Sri Mahanidrayi Nama Iteganda Pushpa Om Rim Sri Mahanidrayi Nama. The Mahanavami Tithi is the 9th day of the Navratri festival. Each day of Navaratri venerates a specific form of Devi Durga. These forms of Devi Durga are collectively called Navadurga. Many aspects of Devi Durga, the Parashakti, are mentioned in the Puranas and Agamas. These forms are legion: Shailaputri, Kushmanda, Katyayani, Kshemankari, Harasiddhi, Vanadurga, Vindhyavasini, Jayadurga are some of these aspects of the Divine Mother. They are represented in a wide variety of forms in traditional iconography. Again, there is the concept of Navadurga, the 9 principal forms of Devi Durga. These forms are particularly venerated during the Navaratri: Shailaputri, Brahmacharini, Chandraghanta, Kushmanda, Skandamata, Katyayani, Kalaratri, Mahagauri and Siddhidatri. These Navadurgas are also worshipped as part of the Navami Tithi Puja. Prathamam Shailaputriti, Dvitiyam Brahmacharini, Tritiyam Chandraghanteti, Kushmandeti, Chaturthakam, Panchamam Skandamateti, Shashtham Katyayani Tatha, Saptamam Kalaratrischya, Mahagauriti Chashtamam, Navamam Siddhidatricha, Navadurga Prakirtita. The forms of Devi Durga called Navadurgas are venerated one by one consecutively during the 9-day festival of Navaratri. In the Durga Puja tradition of Bengal, the last 3 days of the Navaratri, that is Saptami, Ashtami and Navami, are specially considered for performing the puja, following the Shashtyadi Kalpa of Shri Raghunandana. And in Bengal, the image of Mother Durga is modelled as the Mahishasura Mardini during the Sharadiya Puja. But while performing the rituals, Devi Durga's different bhavas, the divine aspects, are also taken into account for meditation and for performing the sacred rites. Siddhidatri is the form of Mother Durga venerated especially on the Navami Tithi in the Navaratri tradition. Siddhidatri means the bestower of perfect result. Ya siddhim dadati sa siddhiprada siddhidatri. Siddhidatri Durga grants perfection in every activity that her devotees undertake. She motivates her devotees to lead a disciplined life that is spiritually beneficial. Worshipping her with complete devotion will appease Siddhidatri, who in turn will bless the spiritual aspirant with great siddhis and spiritual illumination. Devi Durga is worshipped as the Mahishasura Mardini in the Durga Puja. Mahishasura was the demon with extraordinary powers. However, the Asuras always lost their battle against the gods. Tired of constantly being defeated, Mahishasura pledged to change things. Sacrificing his sleep, food, and all comforts of life, he meditated on Brahma, the creator of the universe and all creatures, for many years. He, with unwavering devotion and focus, prayed to Brahma, but Mahishasura's penances were selfish and for terrorizing the world. He was adamant in his goal. Brahma had no other way. Brahma appeared in front of Mahishasura and said to him to ask for whatever he wanted, and his wish would be granted. Mahishasura asked Brahma for a boon that would make him invincible, Ajaya. Let no man or God be able to defeat me, he said.
Mangala Kali,
But Devi Durga
Bhadrakali,
defeated him.
Kapalini, Durga Shiva,
Pushpanjali is being performed in the
Shamadhatri,
Puja Mandapa by the senior
Swaha
monks of the
Swadha,
Ramakrishna order.
Namostute, Esha, Sachandana, Patra Pushpanjali, Om Takshayagga, Vinashinyai, Mahaghorayai, Yogini, Koti, Paribritayai, Bhadrakalyai, Ring Om, Durgayai Namaha.
Being the Mahishasura Mardini, the Divine Mother Sri Durga ended the terror brought upon heaven and earth, which had been almost toppled by Mahishasura and his retinue. Since then, the day is celebrated as Mahanabamir and the final day as the Vijaya Dashami, the festival of Mother's victory over the evil forces. The story of Mahishasura Mardini is the story of the victory of good over evil by the divine intervention of the Parashakti.